And people keep commenting, the oil looks like it's coming in from the top. Look what Depstech sent me. I actually kind of nagged them about this. If y'all been following my videos for a while, most of the scoping I have done has been with this WF25 by Depstech. Until I borrowed my neighbor's. Oh, much appreciated. And it has 2 side scopes and 1 main scope. And I thought, I really need something like that for these videos. So I contacted Depstech. I told them I'd been using a Depstech scope on my channel for a while, and it was limited in its capabilities, and was it possible for them to send me another one? And they said, actually, we've been trying to get in touch with you, but either your email has changed or it's not on your YouTube. So they sent me a couple of Amazon links, and they said, take your pick. One of them had 3 cameras, I think. I think it might be the same one my neighbor had that has the cameras on both sides and on the tip. And then there was this one that only has 2 cameras, but it was more suited to automotive or industrial purposes. So I picked this one, the Depstech DS550. This is quite an upgrade from the WF25. The WF25 was Wi-Fi only and had to be used with a smartphone and an app. This comes with a handheld monitor/controller. The WF25 also had a plasticky kind of snake that had a strong memory to it, so that you had to fidget with it a little to get it to stay pointing where you wanted. This has a metal armored cable that stays right where you put it. This cable does really feel heavy duty. And it's connected with, I'm not sure what you call this connector. To me, it looks like a PS2 or mini DIN connector. It's a 5-pin connection with a key that slots into a groove right there. And then it has a very secure metal, this is all metal here, ring that screws on and secures it nice and tight. Something to note about these cameras is they have a fixed focal distance. I found this out when I took it on some handyman jobs to look for some plumbing leaks, and the images weren't really sharp enough to tell what, if anything, was wet or water stained, unless I could get the scope really close to the source. But it is a great scope for mechanics, or maybe even plumbers looking for obstructions inside of pipes or toilets, where close range would also be suitable. But one of my favorite things about this scope is the built-in side camera. I didn't even realize how indispensable a side camera was until looking into the cylinders. If you want to see the condition of cylinders, it's really important to be able to get a good look at the sides from top to bottom. The side camera will also enable you to see the valves, or perhaps see down a turn that the scope won't make. Let's do a little plumbing scenario mock-up here. Let's make this go straight down this pipe and see what we see. Well, looks like we're coming to a T, and obviously we can't go around the bend there. Let's see, here we are coming to the very end of the pipe, and we can't go any further. So let's switch cameras. Now we're on the side camera. Can we see? Yes. See, so now we're looking out one side of the T. Now let's rotate it around. See if I can rotate the whole thing. And now we're looking out at the other side of the T with the side camera. Now let's pull it back and see if we can see out this other T. So there we are in the other T, and we're looking out. Let's turn this whole thing around so you can see. See, there we are looking out of that T. There's the light overhead. Anyway, so this is the dual 5 megapixel camera, and its focal range is 4 to 11 centimeters for the main camera and 2 to 6 centimeters for the side camera. The battery life is 3 to 4 hours, and the charging time is 4 hours. It has a flashlight function. Press that and a light comes on the back for if you ever need it. To power it on, you press and hold the power button. You can change the camera brightness by the scroll up or down. You change cameras by this rotation button. So right now we're looking out of the main camera, at the camera. Switch it. Now we're looking out of the side camera, at the camera. And both of them are lighted. To record, you press and hold the camera button. A little movie projector pops up and a red recording button. To stop, just press the camera button again. To just take a picture, you just simply press the button one time. In the settings, here's what you see. I'm not really going to change anything. You get the idea. It's not a touch screen. You can change the power off, time, language, screen brightness, and format card. Reset system, and then it shows you how much storage space we have on there. So you can plug it directly into your PC with a USB-C connector. Then you don't have to take the card out, I guess. Here are the bezels.
Bezel.
Or bezels, however you say it, wherever you are. Here is the magnet one. So there is a super magnet on the end of it. And then this part is threaded and screws on. And here's the one with a hook. And it threads on as well. This one appears to be made of plastic. Now, I believe this one is metal. Unscrew the bezel that comes on it and screw, say, the magnetic one on. Now, let's see what this looks like. I can't imagine the view is very good with that on there. Nope, it pretty much focuses right on the magnet itself. So if we were trying to find something, well, there you can see the surface over there. So can we see the depth stick? Yeah, there it is. So you possibly could find something with the magnet. What else can we find? Let's see what's in this drawer here. Let's imagine we dropped a driver tool into our engine bay. Oops. See if we can find it with this. You have to get pretty close to see anything. There it is right there. We did grab it, but it's not that easy. The hook is probably easier to work with or see around. Though since it's plastic, I don't know how strong it would be. Oh, you can definitely see around the hook better, can't you? We see the other bezel. We could come up here and grab it. Now let's test the focal distances. The focal distance with this main camera is 4 to 11 centimeters, or 1.5 inches to 4 and a little more than 1/4 inches. So I'll show you how that works. We're gonna get close. So right now we are within 1 inch of that foam, and you can see how clear that foam is. It's almost like we're looking at it with a digital microscope or something when we're that close. Now if we back away, once we get out of the 11 centimeter distance, or 4 inches, so there's about 4 inches right there, you can see it becomes a little bit fuzzy. You can't really tell, you can't really see the details in the foam there. Nice detail up close, but then we back up past that 11 centimeter threshold and everything becomes kind of fuzzy. Back way up and you can see there's very little detail. To make it even clearer, we'll look at this booklet here. So here we are, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches away. Nice clear type. Now we'll back off and you can see right about there, yeah, right around 11 centimeters or so, or 4 inches, starts becoming fuzzy. One other thing that I think is important to note, especially if you're going to be using this to record video, is this camera does not record in real time. I don't know if it's this model or this particular unit that I have, but in order to make my depth stack video mesh up with my main video and audio, I had to reduce the speed of the depth stack video to 90%. Now I will say I never had that problem with the WF-25. It always meshed up perfectly at the standard speed. Okay, let's try the scope out on the Corolla. Here are the spark plugs in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a little more than half on the dipstick there, and this is the Zero W20 oil. This is right after Zero W20 oil experiment. I'll take it out of gear, make sure the brake's on. 19mm socket so we can turn the crank, get the pistons where we want them. Get out the scope, line the red dot up with the notch, and tighten the screw. There's some World War II planes flying around today that are at our local airport, and I'm hoping to catch some on video for you. Go. Let's see which way is up. We are up right now, so let's go down cylinder number 1. See where we are. Let's drop it to the bottom. Just see what that piston looks like with this new camera. Lots of carbon on top. Now this car has not been driven today. The engine is cold. We'll go ahead and check number 4 straight on, and then we'll switch to the side camera. All right, there's number 4. Oh, a lot less carbon. A lot less carbon on number 4. You can actually see part of the aluminum there. Switch to the side camera. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to look at the back of the engine first. So the camera is facing that way. Go down in here. There is the back. As you can see, not a lot of wear. Now we'll go around to the front. Here's the wear mark. Start at the bottom. Work our way up. Looks pretty good. The top of that head looks really oily though, doesn't it? Now you know we changed the valve stem oil seals if you've been following along. And people keep commenting, the oil looks like it's coming in from the top. And it does. It really does. Let's go down cylinder number 4. Front looks good. Turn around to the back. Back looks good. Let's see if we can see the valves. There's the exhaust valve. I guess the important thing is the intake valve. Let's turn this around. Turn this around. Put a little cock in it so we can kind of look up more at the valves. All right, they're closed right now. Let's turn the crank a little and see if we can get them to open. Oh. Now we just raised the, oh, here they come. All right. You can see intake valves opening. All right, they are all the way open. Let's get back up here, see if we can see the stems. There's a stem. Does it look like we're getting a lot of oil coming down the intake valve stem? Let's look at that other one. Is that oil right there on the edge of the intake opening? Oh man, there it goes. Oh man, missed it. I broke my tripod here. That was the bomber. And you can see I'm in the middle of redoing the posts over here, and this is a little precarious. That's another video that I'm working on, so I know most of you aren't interested in the home improvement stuff, but if you are, that'll be out eventually. All right, where were we? That right there does look like oil is coming in the intake. Now, is that coming in the intake manifold as it's being brought in through the PCV valve, or is it coming in from a leaking valve stem seal? I just did the valve stem seals. If the valves are leaking, that would mean all these experiments are pointless. How can we look at that valve better? Let's look at number one. Let's see, number one is closed right now. We'll give it a few cranks. Here comes the piston. Valve is opening. There we go. Look at that. There is a mess of oil on that valve seat as well. I can already hear people saying, catch can, catch can. Is that what we need? Is that where the oil is coming from, or is it coming from the valves? Here's the other intake valve. Looks like there's some oil in there. All right, well, let's go ahead and look at number 2 and 3. Go down number 2. There's an intake valve. Let's turn this around. Here we go. Valve is opening. Oh, starting to close. Back up a little bit there. There we go. There's a lot of oil. Let's turn and look at the other one. Okay. That one actually doesn't look so bad. Now, if it were the PCV valve, all of them would look the same around the rim, I believe. But if it's the stem seals or the guides, it would be just the ones that have problems. I definitely see oil sitting there. All right, let's look at number 3. That has a lot of oil on the outside of that valve. Look at that. All right, here comes the piston, and here goes the valve. Oh yeah, look in there. There is a mess of oil in there. Now, here's the other one. Pretty good bit of oil in there as well. Now, we've gone in through the throttle body before. We removed all this and went through here to see if it looked like a lot of oil was being fed in through the PCV valve. Let's see, here, where'd you go? PCV valve right here, feeds in right back here. So if oil was coming through the PCV valve, it would be going through there, right into the back of the throttle body right there. And we'd see oil basically all at the beginning of these intake runners. Let's start off, since it's easiest, by going through the throttle body again. So here is the throttle body. we can open that plate up, go down inside there to look at these intake runners. And as I was saying, the PCV valve is right here, and it runs through there, down through there, and if you can see that little clamp right in there, that's where it enters the throttle body. So if it was dumping oil in it, it'd be dumping it right here at the beginning, and we'd see oil all inside here. Go inside. There's some oil in there, for sure, but definitely not a lot. Oh, wait, is that a little puddle? There's a little puddle of oil right there. Yeah, see that right there? That is definitely a little puddle of oil right there. Let's see if we can get in one of these other runners. Now, I could have sworn when we looked at this last time that this thing looked clean as a whistle. I'm in trouble getting into one of these other ones. Yeah, it always wants to go the same way. All right, there we go. We're inside one. Yeah, it's too sharp of a turn. It's not wanting to go any further. That one looks pretty clean. So obviously most of the oil would be going in the one near the bottom. So the oily one was this one right here. So this comes from that bottom one closest to the engine. So that is cylinder number 2. Should look like it has the most oil in it. Did cylinder number 2 look like it had the most oil in it? Let's go back and take a look. I do have a catch can we can install, so I tell you what, this is starting to make me think there are more and more and more people reporting that Berryman's worked on their oil burning, and I'm starting to think maybe Berryman's did work to clean up our piston rings and all. Cylinder number 2 is the oiliest. Look at those valves. And this has been sitting more than overnight. There it is. Yep, there's tons of oil in there. Alright, we need to install a catch can before we do anything else. Gotta eliminate that PCV valve. Oil catch can.